tonight's Major Arena Soccer League between your Ontario Fury and the visiting Dallas Sidekicks. Today's game will be the only meeting between the two teams this season, as your Ontario Fury sit at 1-0 atop the Pacific Division, and the Dallas Sidekicks come in with a record of 1-1. Their last game, a loss just a couple days ago in Tacoma. Your Ontario Fury's season opener just a few days ago, victorious over the visiting Turlock Express, 11-2 the final score there, as Adrian Perez went on a tear, finding the back of the net 5 different times in that match. He does, in fact, lead the MASL in goals so far this season. So game 2 underway, just a few minutes away here from Southern California. So glad you can join us right here on MASL.TV. My name is Brian Tabajay. Ontario did roll past Turlock just a few days ago, like I did mention, 11-2 as they kicked off the 2018-19 campaign. Their next game, Ontario Fury, will be away. They'll go visit the Tacoma Stars, 7 p.m. local start there on Saturday, December 15th at the Showware Center in Kent, Washington. The game is the first road game of the season for the Fury. Last game versus Dallas. Of course, last year, Dallas not in the MASL. So it was a couple years ago in 2017. Fury won that game 11-10, an overtime victory here in Ontario. I remember that game vividly as Dallas and Ontario put on a show for all the fans here in Southern California. As we're just moments away, Military Appreciation Night here in Southern California, live from Citizens Business Bank Arena, as the national anthem just moments away. So the national anthem just another minute away here from Citizens Business Bank Arena, as we're getting some introductions locally for all the fans here inside CBBA. As head coach Jimmy Nordberg will be behind the bench in tonight's game. He was not here in the season opener. Filling in for him was team president and GM Bernie Lelois, who will also now join Kevin Curtis on the assistant coach side and will be on the bench as well for the Ontario Fury. As Jimmy Nordberg joins the team, is excited with the slew of offseason acquisitions and moves that the team did make. Obviously, the biggest name and trade that did come to Southern California was the acquisition of goalkeeper Chris Toth. They did have to give up an offensive threat in Leonardo de Oliveira, and then a key defender as well from the Ontario Fury roster the season before in Juan Gonzalez. As you see some military appreciation honorees at midfield here from Citizens Business Bank Arena. And already paying dividends is Chris Toth. After being acquired from the Ontario Fury, he was part of the MASL Team of the Week, along with Adrian Perez. After Perez did have the 5 goals in that season opener not too long ago. Both players on the MASL Team of the Week. You can also find all the MASL action streaming live right here on MASL.TV. Also online at maslsoccer.com. As the national anthem about to take place here from Ontario. Beautiful rendition there for our national anthem. Kickoff just a few minutes away here from Citizens Business Bank Arena. The Ontario Fury would like to thank Mitre USA for providing today's match balls. Mitre, founded in Huddersfield, England, is among the world's oldest sporting good brands, starting production in 1817. Mitre is a proud partner of a major arena soccer league, providing arena-specific match balls to both the MASL and MASL2. The MASL and Mitre share a long-term vision to see arena soccer grow in North America. Mitre's Astro Division ball is the official game ball for MASL league play. Mitre's Astro Division is designed specifically for play on artificial surfaces. It features a more accurate flight than the average ball and has a 30% reduced bounce to make it play more efficiently in arena soccer league. You're watching the Ontario Fury Soccer right here on MASL.tv. You can catch every game on the league's official streaming home, MASL.tv, or on the MASL app. Download it for free on iTunes or from the Google Play Store as well. For social media, get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite team. Make sure you are following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram and MASL Arena on Twitter. You can also find Ontario Fury social media across all social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. It's all there. Just search at Ontario Fury, and you can follow us all over social media as well. The next home game for your Ontario Fury, Thursday, December 20th versus the San Diego Sockers. Local kickoff time here from Ontario will be at 7 p.m. Come out for our next home game and see the Fury take on the Sockers for the first time this season. It'll be Thirsty Thursday also, as $5 Bud Light 16-ounce cans will be available for purchase at the end of the first quarter of action. So that'll be an interesting game, the next home game here for your Ontario Fury, as Chris Toth for the first time faces his former team along with Jeff Hughes as they face Leonardo de Oliveira, Juan Gonzalez, and company. As the San Diego Sockers like to really put an end to Ontario Fury's seasons quite frequently. Last year, won the final regular season game here at Citizens Business Bank Arena. A year before that, it went to a Game 3, the mini Game 3 deciding game, as San Diego lost that first game in San Diego against Ontario. They did come up here a couple hours north to Citizens Business Bank Arena and crushed the hearts of the Ontario Fury and their fans. So always a good game when San Diego's in town. Your starting five for tonight: Adrian Perez on the pitch, along with the captain Izzy Cisse, McNeely, Charlie Gonzalez, and newly acquired Tony Walls on the far side. Ontario working from left to right in the first quarter here from Ontario. And, of course, starting goalkeeper Chris Toth in the back of the net as well. As we are just underway here from Ontario, California. So glad you can join us. Brian Tabajay alongside you right here on MASL.tv. As the goalkeeper Gamboa switches to the near side after dribbling well past off his line. Now Perez streaking down the near side. 1v2, goes around one, takes a deflection, and the ball is steered wide as the Fury will maintain possession here in the opening quarter. Senior referee Ramiro Cruz, referee Fernando Pena, assistant referee Steve Skill, the fourth official Lauren Barnett, and the penalty box official Joseph Salinas on the pitch officiating tonight's game. Head coach Jimmy Nordberg, assistant coaches Kevin Curtin and Bernie Lillevoix. Yes, Bernie Lillevoix, GM, team president, and now also assistant coach. Strength and conditioning, Matt Holguin, head trainer Gil Sadavar, and the team doctor, Dr. Patel. As there's a whistle along the far side, Walls and one of the sidekick defenders tangled up, and it goes the Dallas way on that call. New names that you will hear frequently that have just come over to Ontario: Tony Walls, Jeff Hughes, Chris Toth, Evan McNeely, just to name the few. Andre Campbell, part of the newly acquired Ontario Fury as well. And then you have the younger core. I don't necessarily want to say younger anymore, as Andy Reyes and Charlie Gonzalez now in their third and fourth seasons. As Reyes collects the ball just outside his defensive third. Wall's on the ball now, defended by 2 Sidekicks. And now Izzy Cisse will settle things down and play back to Toth. Fresh bodies onto the pitch for Ontario. Jeff Hughes making that long run along the far side, but McNeely now will settle things down and steer it to Hughes to the far side. But team president and GM Bernie Lillival was busy in the offseason acquiring those veteran players, and trading for Chris Toth was probably the biggest acquisition really across the MASL, not only out here in Southern California. So Toth finds his way here along with Hughes. And you have Leonardo de Oliveira and Juan Gonzalez that are part of the Sockers organization as well. Juan Gonzalez with a twin brother on that team. So they're here on the 20th, Thursday the 20th, here from Citizens Business Bank Arena. The Sockers have yet to play so far in the 2018-19 campaign. Your Ontario Fury sit at 1-0 after taking care of the Turlock Express. The Express getting a rough treatment just a couple days after that matchup with your Ontario Fury. They flew up to Tacoma. Very similar score up north as well. It'll be interesting to see how the Sidekicks' legs generate here in the first quarter. They did just play a couple days ago up in Tacoma. Head coach Jimmy Nordberg let me know that they do want to push the pace here in the first quarter. Just under 12 minutes remaining in this opening quarter from Ontario. No score yet as the newly looked Fury look to go 2-0 to start off this 2018-19 campaign. First road game will be on Saturday. They'll head up to Tacoma to play another Pacific Division opponent in Tacoma. And now Dallas with possession along the near side. No shot attempt yet from the Sidekicks. Gamboa will steer right down the middle of the pitch to Ritter. And now along to the near side is Nelson. Mike Honde Abreu trying to win that ball back for the Fury. Fury in their predominantly black and gray kits with some red trim. Sidekicks with their green jersey, yellow shorts, white shorts and white socks, working from right to left here in the opening quarter. Cameron Brown defended by Campbell along the near side. Walls wins that tackle, but the ball goes right to the feet of Gamboa. Toth leading the league in save percentage. And then Adrian Perez leading the league in goals scored across the MASL. So both offensively and defensively, as there's a whistle on Perez. A little tangle up right near midfield, and a restart coming here for the visitors from Dallas. Into the hands of Toth after wrapped around the boards there. An 87 save percentage for Chris Toth so far this season, just allowing the 2 goals last game. Nearly just 1 goal, really, after one of the power play goals from Turlock was deflected. Took a couple deflections before it found to the back of the net. Toth steers it to the far side to Chico Francisco. Cordiero takes it off the thigh, and then a shot attempt on a volley. That is Jeff Hughes bringing all the skill and talent there with a volley, and it's a 1-0 lead Ontario. So just over 5 minutes into the contest tonight, and it's a 1-0 lead Ontario, courtesy of a left-footed volley attempt. Gamboa had no chance at that. Jeff Hughes let loose and found the back of the net. It's 1-0 Ontario. Man, he made that look easy. Veteran of the MASL, Making things look easy still is Hughes, and 1-0 Ontario leads. And just seconds after that, Toth drawn off his back line. Anthony Powell goes right around Reyes and ties this game up. As Powell danced right around Reyes, as you watch on the Casa Colina instant replay on the big screen here at Ontario. Danced right around him, drew Toth off his back line. Toth trying to cut down any extra angle that the offensive player had. Unfortunately, could not do so. Perez, just seconds after that game tire, tried to put Ontario back in front. Perez does have that lethal left foot that he used in the last game, scoring 5 times against Turlock. Nearly took the lead again after Walls tried to set him up there along the near side. So the goal scorer was Powell for Dallas and Jeff Hughes for Ontario. Slipped onto the turf there was Garza of Dallas, tangled up there with McNeely. A foul called on McNeely. Just under 10 minutes left to go here in the opening quarter from Citizens Business Bank Arena. My name is Brian Tabajay, and you're live right here on MASL.TV. Only other game until today, Sunday the 9th, the Tropics and Utica City FC, It was an 8-5 victory for Utica City. That game taking place earlier on this afternoon. More action will kick off on Thursday the 13th as the Metro Stars and Comets will meet up. And then Friday, a whole new weekend of MASL action across the country here, right here on MASL.TV. Toth looking for options up top. And he finds Chico Francisco along the far side. Maicon steers the ball to the far side to Perez. Dangerous play there as the sidekick player was down on the ground and decided to continue to play the ball. Gamboa off his line finds Cameron Brown near midfield. He'll steer it to the near side. Off his line again is Toth. But that was kind of a bad touch there from Campbell, as Toth now will go ahead and give Ontario some breathing room defensively. Hughes now back onto the pitch along the far side, goes around one defender, tries to steer it to the far side, and just wide as Walls regains possession. And now McNeely, left foot right into the midsection of a defender there from Dallas. Tony Walls now along the near side. That is a defensive clearance from Dallas as time is called onto the pitch. The first timeout of tonight's game with 6:46 remaining here in the opening quarter from Ontario. The Ontario Fury would like to thank Miter USA for providing today's match balls. Miter, founded in Huddersfield, England, is among the world's oldest sporting good brands, starting production in 1817. Miter is a proud partner of Major Arena Soccer League, providing arena-specific match balls to both the MASL and MASL2. The MASL and Miter share a long-term vision to see arena soccer grow in North America. Miter's Astro Division ball is the official game ball for the MASL League play. Miter's Astro Division is designed specifically for play on artificial surfaces. It features a more accurate flight than the average ball and has a 30% reduced bounce to make it play more efficiently in arena soccer. You're watching Ontario Fury Soccer right here on MASL.TV. You can catch every game on the league's official streaming home, MASL.TV, or on the MASL app. Download it for free on iTunes or from the Google Play Store. You can also catch the MASL all over social media. Get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams. Make sure you are following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, and MASL Arena on Twitter. Ontario Fury Soccer driven by Mark Christopher AutoZone. As Ontario now will reset things from the arc, and Perez defended there well from Dallas. National Community Corps Renaissance, also a proud sponsor and partner for the Ontario Fury, along with Casa Colina and the Mark Christopher Auto Center. And now Perez along the near side, dances around one defender, finds Walls, and they'll play keep away right near midfield. 6:10 remaining here in the opening quarter from Ontario. A 1-1 game after Hughes put the Fury ahead just seconds after that. It was Anthony Powell for Dallas, scoring his first goal of the season. And now Race along the far side gets a 1-2 with Perez, as Francisco will get the rebound for Ontario, and they regain the lead here 2-1 with 5:40 remaining in the opening quarter. So Chico Francisco Cordero gets his first goal of the season and his second point of the year so far. Couple first-time goal scorers on the season, Jeff Hughes and Chico Francisco. No better feeling than getting contributions from other players, other key players on the roster as well, as they tally up their stat sheet. Adrian Perez with the assist, as it looks like Ontario's trying to pick up the pace here with 5:20 remaining in the opening quarter. Hughes on the ball for Ontario, and out Dallas. That is Garza. Intercepted there from Andy Reyes. He'll steer it to the near side to Walls. Gamboa well off his line. And now Walls collects for Ontario. Tripped up there, no call. Referees say play on along the far side. To the near side they work, and defending there from Charlie Gonzalez slowed things down against Dallas there near midfield with 4:40 remaining here in the opening quarter. So a 2-1 Fury lead. Goal scorers Jeff Hughes and Chico Francisco for Ontario. 4.5 remaining here in the opening quarter. The youngster Maikonde Abreu applying pressure there, but will quickly hop off the pitch for a breather. McNeely, newly acquired defender there from Tacoma, as Cameron Brown gets a bad touch. Try to switch the pitch there. Up and out of bounds. A restart coming for Ontario. McNeely coming in to Southern California. Did play on the Tacoma Stars. A veteran of the MASL as well. He'll face his former team on Saturday, as the Fury will travel up north for their first road game of the season up in Kent, Washington. Reyes and Francisco trying to make the runs here for Toth. The ball's defended well from Dallas, and they'll regain possession. Now along the near side is Dallas, and just trying to generate something offensively are the Sidekicks. So far, it's been easy to say the least for Ontario. As far as that hiccup goes and the goal given up, Andy Reyes was kind of shoved off that ball after defending Powell, and then That forced Toth off of his back line. That's how they found the back of the net for their lone goal so far here in the opening quarter. .245 remains here in the first quarter from Ontario. Gamboa, a goalkeeper that has played well off his line majority of this first quarter so far. Steers it to the near side. Trying to work a 1-2 is Dallas right along that near side. Toth applying some pressure coming off his line there. And now Campbell and Walls will play defensively for Ontario. No shot created there from Dallas as they steered it from the far side to the near. And now Toth will just steer it out of harm's way. That'll stay inbounds and fresh bodies onto the pitch for the Fury. Minute 45 remains here from Ontario in the opening quarter. A 2-1 Fury lead. Goal scorers for the Ontario Fury, Jeff Hughes and Chico Francisco Cordiero, both finding the back of the net for the first time this season. Chico Francisco is a regular goal scorer. He did have at least 17 last year. And Perez with the assist on the second goal for Ontario. Hughes' goal unassisted on that volley attempt. With 1 minute remaining here in the opening quarter. Andy Reyes dances around one defender. And a deflected shot after Mike Ondiabre tried to volley attempt that one home. No luck there. Restart coming to the near side. Francisco tangled up there. Perez will hold on for Ontario. Toth will reset. 45 seconds remaining here in the opening quarter from Ontario. Hughes will play it off the wall. Charlie Gonzalez tried to work a 1-2 as Hughes stayed back. Francisco now maintaining possession. And Dallas regains with 20 seconds remaining here, trying to push forward. They have to wait for more bodies to come onto the field. 13 seconds now remaining as they steer to the far side. Toth, the beautiful save there so far. Best save of the game so far for Toth. Gamboa well off his line. He'll steer it to the near side, and that'll be that. After 1 quarter of play, it is a 2-1 lead for Ontario. As first-time goal scorers on the season, Chico Francisco and Jeff Hughes find the back of the net for Ontario to take this slim lead into the second quarter. Just moments away here from Citizens Business Bank Arena. The next home game for your Ontario Fury will be Thursday, December 20th against the Pacific Division rivals. The San Diego Sockers will find themselves here for the first time this season. Chris Toth and company will face them. Toth and Hughes will face their former teams for the first time this season. Their next game on the schedule for Ontario will be on Saturday as they travel up to Tacoma, as McNeely will face his former team on Saturday over at the ShoWare Center up in Kent, Washington. Well, it's a new season and a new look for MASL. The Major Arena Soccer League begins its 5th season with 16 teams in 4 divisions. New teams this season include Orlando, which did move from Cedar Rapids, Mississauga in Canada, and Utica, which they moved from Syracuse. The Dallas Sidekicks, the visitors tonight, return after a 1-year hiatus and departed from the league this season, is the Soles de Sonora Club. that are no longer part of the MASL. M2 is in its year 2. The Major Arena Soccer League's developmental league, M2, began its second season in December with 15 teams and 3 new divisions. Chicago won the inaugural M2 Cup and will defend its title against the rest of the league as M2 begins its second season. Of course, you can find all Ontario Fury and MASL games streaming live on MASL.tv or on MASLsoccer.com as well. So the Ontario Fury so far undefeated against Dallas all time. The last meeting was in 2017 at Dallas. The Fury victorious in Dallas 10-8. And then the last meeting here from Ontario, it was also early on in 2017. Ontario did win that game in overtime, 11-10. Ontario, it was also Ontario's first ever full-side game, was against Dallas way back in 2013. The Fury won 6-5 in that matchup as well. So head coach Jimmy Nordberg did mention at the beginning of the game in warm-ups, or before the game I should say, that his team wanted to establish some tempo. Tempo was there on and off in that quarter. I would say majority of possession was with Ontario on the home team, but Dallas didn't make anything look easy as Ontario is trying to take advantage of Dallas. They're coming in. They played their last game just a couple days ago up in Tacoma. Lost that tight game up against the Stars and now find their way all the way back down here in Southern California. So maybe some tired legs later on in this first half here from Ontario. That is yet to be determined as Dallas is keeping pace so far. A slim 2-1 Fury lead after one quarter of play. Ontario Fury looking completely different from a season ago with newcomers Chris Toth, Jeff Hughes, Evan McNeely, Tony Walls, Andre Campbell, just to say a few. A mixture of veteran leadership across the MASL, along with a young core of talent that they have here in Andy Reyes, Charlie Gonzalez, Bobby Tornell, one of the veteran players and one of the original roster players for Ontario, along with Israel Cisse and Tino Nunez. Tino Nunez, a healthy scratch for tonight's contest. Did have a goal and a couple assists, did Nunez, in the home opener against Turlock just a few days ago. As we're just underway here in the second quarter from Ontario. So glad you can join us right here on MASL.tv. It is Military Appreciation Night here from Citizens Business Bank Arena as Cisse dribbling right down the middle of the pitch, tangled up for a brief second there, and the captain unfortunately didn't get a shot attempt off. But Charlie Gonzalez will settle things down and reset here for Ontario. To the near side now is McNeely. Lays it off to Toth to the far side. On to the pitch is Campbell. And now Perez, the 5-time goal scorer in the season opener, trying to get another one tonight. He has already found the stat sheet, though. An assist for Adrian Perez on the last goal for Ontario to Chico Francisco. First goal for Francisco tonight. Up along the far side is Francisco. Pressure applied there. He'll just lay it off to his goalkeeper, Toth, along with Maicon de Abreu. Just underway here in the second quarter of play from Ontario. Head coach Jimmy Nordberg back behind the bench. Did miss the season opener. But also some new information for you Fury fans out there. Team president and general manager Bernie Lillivaugh joins the bench as well as an assistant coach. So Bernie doing quite a bit for this organization in its 6th season. Team president, GM, did have head coach duties in the season opener as well. Campbell now along the near side. Defender there from Cisse could not get a shot attempt off. Well done from the captain. Campbell seems to be their only threat so far. Powell seems to be their only threat so far from the Dallas side. Powell, the goal scorer for the Sidekicks early on in that first quarter. Tony Walls disrupts Gamboa, and he makes it a 3-1 Fury lead here in the second quarter. So Walls did have 3 assists in the last game. Finds himself on the stat sheet under the goal column as he just went right between the legs of Gamboa. I did mention Gamboa playing off his line quite frequently in that first quarter, right between the wickets and then into the back of the net for Tony Walls. It's a 3-1 Ontario lead. So that goal unassisted as well. And Tony Walls, like I did mention, 3 assists in the last game. Jeff Hughes lets loose with a left foot and steered to the far side off the hands of Gamboa. And now Dallas working along the near side. Gonzalez will reset here with Toth maintaining possession for Ontario. Just under 11 minutes left to go here in the first half. Andy Reyes with the ball along with Perez. Volley attempt deflected and then whistled dead. As Gamboa resets along the far side. A little too anxious here, almost a defensive clearance. But it'll come as just straight out of bounds and a restart coming for the home team. Total reset for Ontario. Charlie Gonzalez along the far side near midfield. And now De Abreu, the youngster from Brazil, will find Gonzalez along the far side. 1v1. Decides to hold it up and lay back off to De Abreu. Perez will utilize Campbell, and Campbell all the way back to Chris Toth. Tony Walsh trying to earn the ball back for Ontario. Gets tripped up, earns the foul there. Foul right in front of that Ontario Fury bench. 9:39 remaining here in the first half of play. Restart coming here for McNeely. He'll let loose near midfield. Just sails up and out of bounds. With 9:38 remaining here in the first half. Ontario trying to apply a little bit more pressure here and build on this 3-1 lead. Goal scored by Walls, Francisco, and Hughes for Ontario. And then Powell for Dallas as Toth off his back line will play the ball to the near side. That finds the feet of Gamboa. Pacific Division has always been competitive with Ontario, San Diego, and Tacoma primarily. Always in the mix, season in and season out. Last year was Tacoma and San Diego. Year before that, it was Ontario and San Diego making the playoffs. Last year it came down to the last game of the season here in Ontario. After a restart, it is McNeely. The shot takes a deflection, and Walls will collect here for Ontario. 8:45 remaining here in the first half from Citizens Business Bank Arena. My name is Brian Tabajay. So glad you can join us right here on MASL.tv. You can also follow all the Ontario Fury action all season long right here on MASL.tv, along with the rest of the league as well. Ontario Fury Soccer, always driven by Mark Christopher Auto Center. As Powell trying to dance around Gonzalez along the near side. Well done from Charlie Gonzalez. And now Perez gets into the fray, and McNeely will steer it to the near side out of harm's way. Dallas still applying some pressure here along that near side and finally broken up. And Charlie Gonzalez utilizes the wall and plays Francisco. With 7:45 remaining here in the second quarter of play. As Ontario will find its way up in Washington just in a few days on Saturday, their first road game of the season. And they'll be back here on Thursday the 20th against the San Diego Sockers. Chris Toth and Hughes will play their former team for the first time. A 50-50 ball as Campbell went in for Ontario. Shaken up there is Garza of Dallas. It was almost a simultaneous slide as well, but the blue card was shown there from the referee along the far side. We'll get the call for you unofficially here in just a minute. So Dallas will go on the power play for the first time tonight. Dallas will continue their action on Saturday as well, as they'll play host to El Paso. They'll have a couple home games to try and gain some momentum here as they host El Paso and then the San Diego Sockers. Is Dallas now part of the Southwest Division again, taking a year off of play in the MASL. New ownership brought the team back. In the Southwest, it is Monterey, Dallas, Rio Grande Valley, and El Paso in the Southwest. Of course, the Ontario Fury in the Pacific, along with Tacoma and San Diego and Turlock. The South Central Division, composed of Milwaukee, Florida, St. Louis, Orlando, and Kansas City. And then in the East, it's Utica, Baltimore, Mississauga, and Harrisburg. So Campbell in the penalty box. A reckless tackle is the call on the penalty. So a minor penalty to Campbell First power play of the game tonight for the Dallas Sidekicks. And we'll see if the Ontario Fury can kill the penalty successfully. Your killers on the field, Reyes, Cisse, Hughes, and McNeely. A 3-1 Fury lead here with 6:50 remaining in the second quarter of play. That ball finds its way to the near side, and Hernandez along with Ellis on the pitch for the power play for Dallas, along with Brown. Shot from the far side just wide. Dallas will maintain possession with 1:15 remaining. Nice save there from Toth. Brown on the doorstep for a rebound. No shot option there in the end for Brown. 1 minute remaining on the penalty for Campbell. One shot so far for the Sidekicks on the power play. To the far side, the ball works. Steered to the near side to Ellis. Fury got to be tired now on this kill. McNeely sliding, deflecting that ball. Reyes defending. And now Hughes, and very much needed there, is a breather as Reyes sprints off to the field, and Perez will jump on for Reyes. Toth looking for Perez. The ball all the way to the far side corner. Perez applying pressure here. And 25 seconds now remaining on the power play for the visitors. 5:20 remaining here in the first half. Five seconds now remain on the penalty. 3 seconds now, 2. Campbell ready to pop out as soon as that time is up, and it is up. Well done on the penalty kill for Ontario. To the far side, the ball works. That shot nearly found the near side post. Hernandez maintaining possession. One shot on that power play for Dallas in the end. Into the hands of Toth. He'll settle things down. McNeely needs a change, and so do a few others as a timeout is called on the pitch for Ontario. 4:33 remaining here in the first half from Citizens Business Bank Arena. My name is Brian Tabajay. So glad you can join us on a Sunday evening here from Southern California. The home team Ontario Fury leading the visitors, the Dallas Sidekicks, by a score of 3-1. Goal scorers for Ontario: Chico Francisco, Jeff Hughes, and also Tony Walls. All first-time goal scorers on this very young 2018-19 campaign. Each player did also have an assist in the last game. It was actually Tony Walls who had 3. Chico Francisco and Jeff Hughes had an assist as well in that game against Turlock. As Ontario will hop onto the road for the first time on Saturday, they'll go up and visit Tacoma, and they'll play host to the San Diego Sockers a few days after that on the 20th. As Chris Toth and Hughes will match up with their former team for the first time this season. 4:33 remaining here in the first half of play from Ontario. As Ontario looks like a completely different team. If you missed last game or some of the notes from the offseason, Ontario acquiring Chris Toth and Jeff Hughes in a trade for Leonardo de Oliveira and Juan Gonzalez. So Toth now part of the Ontario Fury organization along with Hughes, McNeely, Campbell, Walls. Also newcomers to the team as well. Mixed up with this young talented core that they have here under head coach Jimmy Nordberg and assistants Kevin Curtis and team president, GM Bernie Lillivaugh. Roster looks completely different from a season ago. Exciting stuff happening here in Ontario. Charlie Gonzalez with a rifle of a right foot. Gamboa made it look easy on that stop. Cisse will settle things down and recollect for Ontario. Gonzalez finding the 5-time goal scorer Adrian Perez. Does lead the league in goals scored so far. Perez, a hell of a rookie campaign last year. As the ball just barely gets up and out of bounds there. Restart coming to the far side for Ontario. Quick restart here for the Fury. 3:23 remaining here in the first half of play. 3-1 lead for Ontario. Perez trying to make it 4. Plays it off the wall, and then a shot attempt that just skimmed the post there on the top side. Gamboa did well to come off his back line, and then Perez there tripped up. So tripped up there was Perez. Seems to be okay, but definitely contact there after trying to maintain possession there. Do a little spin move off of that back defender. But he was tripped up as you watch on the Casa Colina instant replay here from Ontario. Andy Reyes on the ball. He'll lay to McNeely. That's deflected up and out of bounds. No defensive clearance here after a deflection. So the restart coming here along the near side. Campbell moving before that ball was actually kicked. So delay a game warning here on Dallas after Powell kind of was running with McNeely on that restart. 3 minutes remaining here in the first half. McNeely steers it off the boards. That was a great deflection that found right into the middle of the field, but Dallas broke that one up. And now Reyes will steer it to the far side to Francisco. Does have Perez running on. Will play him left foot. Just tipped up and out of bounds, and a corner coming here for Ontario. Perez, not the fastest on the pitch, but does have that lethal left foot that he makes it look so easy. Each and every shot attempt that he takes. Gamboa had to do well on that last shot attempt. After the restart there, some confusion between Perez and Hughes, and Dallas looking to capitalize. Nearly too many. It almost looked like it was too many men on the field. But Bernie Lillivaugh on that bench, warning for dissent for the assistant team president and general manager Bernie Lillivaugh. A little upset there after it almost looked like it was too many men on the pitch for Dallas, but play continues here with 2:05 remaining in the first half. Dallas with a volley shot attempt. Toth will read that ball off the near side boards and try and reset some options here. Francisco all alone along that last line. He'll try and play on to Campbell, but nothing doing there. Charlie Gonzalez applying pressure to the far side. Dallas working now along the near side. Minute 35 remains here in the first half. So you're watching all the live action right here on MASL.TV. McNeely breaks up that deep pass, and Hughes now steers it where Francisco tried to run on. Minute 10 now remaining here in the first half of play from Ontario. And now Hughes will have to drop back defensively and meet up with Brown. The shot right off of that layoff attempt is well wide off the right foot of Hernandez. 1 minute left to play here in the first half. Total reset here with Andy Race. He lets that ball pass, and then now a 1-2 with Walls along the near side. Off the wall it goes, and in the end headed back defensively into the hands of Gamboa. Now Hernandez along the far side goes between 3 defenders. Still has the ball, and then Reyes finally regaining possession for Ontario. Now to the near side is De Abreu. Maicon pressured there from Powell, and then Toth had to make a save there, did Toth, with time winding down. Walls now to the far side. 20 seconds remain, and Walls nearly had a quality shot attempt right off his laces into the net. De Abreu now going 1v1. Cough that ball up. 5 seconds left now. 3, 2, and 1, and that'll be it here from the first half of play. So at the half, it is an Ontario Fury lead by the score of 3-1. As we will continue more coverage right here from Ontario, California. Live action right around the corner on MASL.TV. Halftime score, Ontario Fury 3, the visiting Dallas Sidekicks 1. We'll be back shortly right here on MASL.TV.
Come on. Get it. Let's go. Shoot. Score. Yeah! And that's why I'm a proud sponsor of the Fury soccer team.
Into the back of the net. Medina! Go for the birthday boy!
Come on. Get it. Let's go. Shoot. Score. Yeah! And that's why I'm a proud sponsor of the Fury soccer team.
Into the back of the net. Medina! Go for the birthday boy! Goal!
Welcome back to Citizens Business Bank Arena. My name is Brian Tabajay right here on MASL.TV. So glad you can join us right here for some Sunday night action. A halftime score, the Ontario Fury leading over the visiting Dallas Sidekicks, as goal scorers for Ontario came from the likes of Jeff Hughes, Chico Francisco, and the last goal scorer was Chico Francisco and Tony Walls, Tony Walls providing the third goal. Obviously, here for Ontario, a 3-1 halftime lead. First-time goal scorers on this young season, 2018 and 19 campaign, is Francisco, Hughes, and Walls. The goal scorer for the Dallas Sidekicks, Powell, as he tied it up just seconds after the Fury took the 1-0 lead. So back-to-back goals here, unanswered goals for Ontario. I did speak to head coach Jimmy Nordberg pregame during warmups, as he wanted to apply some real pressure here against the Dallas Sidekicks. The Sidekicks just visiting Tacoma just a couple days ago. A tough loss for the Sidekicks up in Kent, Washington, as they find themselves back down here in Southern California. A tight one here from Ontario. Shots so far, the Fury 13, the visiting Sidekicks 4. Saves so far for goalkeeper Gamboa, four saves for Gamboa, and 3 saves for the new goalkeeper for Ontario, Chris Toth. Halftime here, a 3-1 Fury lead, as the other game on tilt for the MASL was against the Utica FC in Florida, as it was an 8-5 Utica City FC victory earlier this afternoon. More MASL action continues later on this week on Thursday, as it is a 3-1 halftime lead right here at Citizens Business Bank Arena. My name is Brian Tabajay. Continue to work on watching and following the MASL all season long right here on MASL.TV. We'll be back with a third quarter of action from Ontario, California on MASL.TV.
Come on. Come on, baby. Come on. Get it. Let's go. Shoot. Score. Yeah! And that's why I'm a proud sponsor of the Fury Soccer Team.
Pereira into the back of the net. Medina! Go for the birthday boy!
Welcome back to Citizens Business Bank Arena. Halftime score, Ontario Fury 3, the visiting Dallas Sidekicks just 1. The Sidekicks record when trailing at the half under head coach Simon Bosas is 3-20. So the stats in the favor for the home team Ontario Fury. Well, they definitely have to pad this lead here. Just a 2-goal lead at the start of this third quarter. Then they have to do a lot more work to make them a little bit more uncomfortable here in Ontario. Has been back and forth. Majority of the possession and shot attempts, quality scoring attempts as well, have been from Ontario. But Dallas, nonetheless, just 2 goals behind as we get underway here in the third quarter. Your goal scorers for the Ontario Fury. Jeff Hughes had the first goal, and then followed very shortly after that. Dallas Sidekicks tied it up under Powell. His first goal of the season. Chico Francisco then made it a 2-1 Ontario lead. And then Tony Walls had a goal himself, making the score 3-1. Scores for the Ontario Fury on the season. Also have an assist in the last game against Turlock here, their season opener just a handful of days ago. Tony Walls now along the far side will steer it all the way over to Hughes, and now Hughes to Campbell. Near side corner, attracts 2 defenders. Shot attempt from Hughes is up and out of bounds. So just underway here in the second half of play. So glad you can join us right here on MASL.TV. Ontario Fury Soccer, driven by Mark Christopher Auto Center. Also proud sponsors, National Community Court Renaissance and Casa Kalina. Maikon de Abreu, tried to break that up defensively, then actually gave it away to Powell. And now Dallas along the near side just steered wide after that shot attempt out the foot of Garza. Now a foul call right in front of the Ontario bench. And a restart coming here for Hughes and company. Just underway here in the third quarter. Next home game for your Ontario Fury will be Thursday the 20th. They'll play San Diego. Perez onto that ball after the layoff. And that'll find its way in. Chico Francisco and Perez work a 1-2 to make this a 4-1 Ontario lead. So Perez finds the net for the first time tonight. Added to his assist from earlier on as well. And he's trending right along to stay atop the league in goals scored in the MASL. So it took a small deflection on that goal. But Chico Francisco unofficially will get that assist. It is Francisco's second assist on the year. And that'll make it Adrian Perez 6 goals on the year as well. So 13 minutes remaining here in the third quarter of play. Just underway here from Citizens Business Bank Arena. Perez trying to add to his tally, leading the league in goals scored already in this young season. Did have a fantastic rookie campaign last year. 1v1 along the near side is defended there from Charlie Gonzalez. Tangled up there for a split second. Now Cisse interrupted before he tried to clear the ball out defensively. Nelson now will settle things down and find Hernandez. Now Nelson again for Dallas. Quintana to the far side asking for the ball. That's steered to the near side, off the near side boards to Alegwe. Dallas trying to generate something here offensively. Just underway here in the third quarter. That shot blocked by Tony Walls. He's shaken up a little bit there. He'll hop right off and maybe get some medical attention after that shot was deflected off of Walls. Head trainer Gil Sadivar making sure that Walls is okay. Good thing is he walked off on his own power, did Walls. Now Perez applying pressure. No foul call there. Referee says play on. And then a foul on Dallas, actually. So Perez doing well there for Ontario, earning the ball back, drawing a foul as well. Chico Francisco runs onto the ball, lets loose, and that's deflected. And now Dallas trying to make a run for it. Broken up. Now the Sidekicks with possession. To the far side, the ball works for Dallas. That is Lovegrove. Defending there from Andy Reyes. A 4-1 Ontario lead. Goal scorers Hughes, Francisco, Walls, and Perez. Powell, the lone goal scorer for Dallas. Deep ball sent in for Francisco. He'll play it off the far side wall. That takes one bounce and out of harm's way. In the end, Campbell will reset with Toth. Gonzalez will settle things down, and Charlie Gonzalez, kind of a quiet start to this season. Was honorable mention Rookie of the Year a couple seasons ago was Charlie Gonzalez, a local talent and product here from the Inland Empire, Cal State San Bernardino. He does have the quality and skill set of an above average, I would say, MASL player is Charlie Gonzalez. So we'll look for him to get things going here early on in this young campaign. Just the second game of the season so far. Ontario will find its way up in Tacoma this weekend and then play host to San Diego for the first time, as Toth and Hughes will face their former team. And De Oliveira and Gonzalez will face their former team. McNeely will face his former team on Saturday, as Toth finds Hughes and he steers it to the near side to Regoza. Regoza, limited time so far tonight. Did find himself quite frequently on the field against Turlock in the season opener. Regoza, part of that young core talent here. Regoza, Reyes, Gonzalez, Jordan, and Tornell, along with De Abreu, although Tornell's not really the youngster anymore. Part of the original roster is Tornell, along with Tino Nunez and Izzy Cisse. Nunez a healthy scratch for tonight's contest. Perez steers it to Francisco. Francisco thought he had extra support on the back line, and he'll turn the ball over. And now Gonzalez intercepts. Trying to work it to Chico along that far side. That's broken up as well. Back and forth we go in their attacking half. Steers it to the far side. Here's Francisco. Then Perez tried to shuffle it in. And well done defensively from Dallas. Adrian Perez, if you put a little pace on that ball, it's into the back of the net for sure, especially with the skill that he has and power and pace that he has on that left foot. So toe save there defensively on the back line after Gamboa was peeled off of it. And that's just a sky ball in the end after a restart to the near side. And Dallas will escape with no goals given up in that instance. Reyes applying pressure. Dallas works its way out. Near midfield against McNeely, going 1v1. Referee says play on. Perez will find no one to this near side, and then Raygoza does a chip shot attempt, and that makes it 5-1 Ontario. Well done from Perez to set him up. The youngster Raygoza with his first goal of the season. That is a quality finish there from the youngster, Willie Raygoza. Gamboa did well to move across that goal line to try and block a shot attempt. Raygoza took his time, settled the ball down, chipped it right over and into the far side of that net, making it 5-1 Ontario. So the assist goes to Perez. His second of the night. And Ontario leads a 5-1. You're watching Ontario Fury Soccer on MASL.tv. Catch every game on the league's official streaming home, MASL.tv, or on the MASL app. You can download it for free on the iTunes Store or from the Google Play Store as well. Get all the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams. Make sure you are following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, and MASL Arena on Twitter. You can also find Ontario Fury all over social media as well. All you have to do is search at Ontario Fury. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, all of the above, social media-wise for Ontario. Has a 5-1 lead here from CBBA. The visitors playing just a couple days ago in Tacoma. And, of course, Ontario Fury Soccer driven by Mark Christopher Auto Center. 7:05 remaining here in the third quarter. I wouldn't say it's a comfortable lead, but definitely better than the halftime score of 3-1. Ontario tallying a couple more in this third quarter. See if they can balloon this lead by the time the start of the fourth quarter is here. Perez, Francisco, McNeely, Gonzalez, and Cisse on the field for Ontario. Francisco tangled up by 3 defenders there. 6.5 remaining here in the third quarter. Somehow that ball stays in after the deflection near midfield. And it looks like a foul, but no penalty there. After Luvano kind of shoved Campbell. Referees did call a foul, but no penalty there given from the far side referee. Senior referee Ramiro Cruz, referee Fernando Pena, assistant referee Steve Skills, fourth official Lauren Barnett, and penalty box official Joseph Salinas. 6 minutes remaining here in the third quarter from Ontario. A 5-1 Fury lead. Dallas has yet to generate any consistency on the offensive end as far as pressure and chances. Their lone goal scored by Anthony Powell. Charlie Gonzalez dancing around 2 defenders, and Perez gets the ball back for Ontario, tallies to the lead. It is a 6-1 Ontario lead. So Adrian Perez with his right foot makes it 6-1 Ontario. He just plucked out that bottom 90 after Charlie Gonzalez did, I guess you can call it the hard work, dancing around a couple defenders, ball finding the feet of Perez, and he knows what to do in that situation. And now it's another youngster, Maicon De Abreu, probably 4 seconds after the kickoff, and it's another Ontario Fury goal. They lead 7-1. So 6 seconds after the Perez goal, De Abreu takes advantage after the kickoff, and it is now 7-1 Ontario. So on the Perez goal, it is Charlie Gonzalez with the assist. And the De Abreu goal comes unassisted just shortly after Perez. 2 goals in 6 seconds here in Ontario. A 7-1 Fury lead here with 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Chico Francisco on the break. No defenders back. He's going to pluck out a corner off the right hand of Gamboa. As nobody came up offensively to assist Francisco. He just timed that ball and the bounce right over that last defender. And the score remains 7-1. Francisco with a flick on, no one there on the other end. If they hurry, they have Powell, and that's intercepted from Campbell. Well done from Campbell to break up any quality attempt there from Dallas. And with 4:15 remaining here in the third quarter of play, it is a 7-1 lead for the Fury. 21 shots Ontario has attempted so far to just 6 on the visiting side. McNeely will settle things down near midfield. 3:45 remaining in the third quarter. McNeely steers it wide. The ball wraps around to the near side. Tangled up there, and the Fury win the ball back. And now Dallas. 3:30 remaining here in the third quarter. A flurry of Fury goals here in the third quarter. Tally their lead up to 7-1 after a halftime lead of 3-1 from Ontario. Along the far side, defended by Hughes. Tried to get some shot attempt off there along the far side. That was, in the end, the easiest save for Toad. Maicon De Abreu would have been a highlight finish there for the youngster. That first touch was so filthy in between 3 different players. And unlucky to have not the finish that he wanted, as Adrian Perez danced around one defender there near midfield. 2.5 remain here in the third quarter. The Fury feeling it in this third quarter. Already 4 goals scored since the half. Perez with a little bit of room. He'll lay it off to Gonzalez. Maicon will reset with Cisse. No vets on the pitch right now aside from the captain Cisse. He's alongside Regoza, De Abreu, Perez, and Gonzalez. Minute 45 remaining here in the third quarter. Toth will steer it to the near side with McNeely. And now Brown lets loose on the Dallas side offensively, and he'll find the back of the net after sliding attempt and shot from Brown. They make it 7-2. And it's Cameron Brown's first goal of the season. Does have 2 assists so far after 3 games. Well, 2.5 games. And I did bring it up in the season opener, previewing this visit from Dallas, as Cameron Brown did have a highlight reel finish, a bicycle kick attempt off the near side boards here from Citizens Business Bank Arena in between 3 different Fury players. He made it look easy. I believe that was last time he was here. As Toth now turns the ball over to Dallas. 1:05 remains here in the third quarter. Perez is clearing it out of harm's way. Well done from Toth there to gobble up the ball with no shot attempts given up. Right goes it to the near side. Just out of his direction. Striker, the Fury mascot, a little shaken up there. That ball sailed up and out of bounds. He's okay. And now Ray Goza with 25 seconds remaining in the third quarter. A 1-2 from Perez. No, he elects to keep himself. And then get tangled up for the foul call. As Boza's the head coach for Dallas, a little frustrated after that foul call. Perez now on the restart. There's De Abreu, and now Perez again, and deflected again as time winds down here with 5 seconds now 4. 3 seconds now 2. 1. Perez lets loose, and that's up and out of bounds. That is the end of the third quarter of play. A score of 7-2 after 3 quarters. A 7-2 Ontario Fury lead after 3 quarters of play. We'll be back momentarily right here on MASL.TV. California. The home team, Ontario Fury, still on top, a score of 7-2. The Ontario Fury would like to thank Mitre USA for providing today's match balls. Mitre, founded in Huddersfield, England, is among the world's oldest sporting goods brands, starting production in 1817. Mitre is a proud partner of Major Arena Soccer League, providing arena-specific match balls to both the MASL and MASL2. The MASL and Mitre share a long-term vision to see arena soccer grow in North America. Mitre's Astro Division ball is the official game ball for MASL League play. Mitre's Astro Division is designed specifically for play on artificial surfaces. It features a more accurate flight than the average ball and has a 30% reduced bounce to make it play more efficiently in arena soccer. You're watching Ontario Fury on MASL TV. Catch every game on the league's official streaming home, MASL.tv, or on the MASL app. Download it for free on iTunes or from the Google Play Store as well. Get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams. Make sure you are following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, and MASL Arena on Twitter. You can also find the Ontario Fury all over social media as well. All you have to do is search at Ontario Fury along the outlets: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, all the above for the Ontario Fury, all over social media as well. Fourth quarter just underway here from Citizens Business Bank Arena. I would like to say it's a comfortable lead, but a 5-goal lead in the MASL is not that big, as Adrian Perez makes one defender look foolish. I'm sorry to say, but he absolutely did. And he tallies up another goal. Referees are going to speak to the line judge here, as that bounce, it was a very bang-bang play, if you will. And then they're going to take a look. And on the Casa Colina instant replay, with his right foot, Adrian Perez, that'll be officially a goal for Ontario Fury. Perez will get another hat trick here. So two hat tricks in consecutive games for Adrian Perez. So he makes it 8-2. That is assisted from the goalkeeper, Chris Toth. So 8 goals on the young season already for Perez, and then De Abreu's trying to make him known, his name known as well, as he tried to chip the goalkeeper Gamboa, just crossing midfield, and then followed it up with a volley attempt. Well done from Gamboa with that save. But Ontario leading now here in the fourth quarter, 8-2. So Chris Toth with his first point of the season, along with his 2.01 goals against average. His save percentage at 87 starting tonight's game, leading the league as well. Adrian Perez leading the league in goals scored in the MASL with now 8. At the start of the game, it was 5. And we still have 13 minutes remaining here in this game. That is a blue card given to number 7, RJ Luvano. Just the second penalty on the night. This time it goes to Dallas. So the 2-minute minor penalty here for the Ontario Fury. The first power play for the Fury tonight. They did go 0 for 1 in the home opener, as Gonzalez just steers that to the far side. Hughes, McNeely, Gonzalez, Francisco, and Perez on the pitch on this power play. Hughes will settle things down with Gonzalez to his left. Charlie will take on one defender and lose the ball there. Hernandez and Brown trying to make something happen here on the kill. McNeely and Hughes back defensively, and Toth will settle it down here. "12 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. Brown trying to let the referees know that was touched multiple times for what would be a potential call. 30 seconds remaining here on the power play for Ontario. Gamboa taking his time. Now the ball over the head of Hughes. Hernandez still causing some havoc on this power play for Ontario. Toth will settle it down and steer it to McNeely along the far side. I think they got one shot attempt off on that power play, and with 3 seconds remaining, that'll be it. So unsuccessful on the power play is Ontario. 0 for 2 so far in the season. And Cisse jumps onto the field for the home team. Perez gathers by midfield. And now Cisse after the switch from Reyes. 8-2 the Fury lead after 4 goals in that third quarter. Another one here in the fourth, and here we are 8-2. Francisco and Reyes working some magic along the near side, and it's a 9-2 Ontario lead. So a little 1-2 from Andy Reyes and Chico Francisco. They had the goalkeeper Gamboa going to his left. Francisco found that bottom left corner, and here we are at 9-2. So 20 goals in 2 games so far for Ontario. See if they can tally to that lead. Also only giving up 4 goals in the last game and 3 quarters is Toth and company. You know, since Tony Walls got banged up, I believe it was early on in the third quarter, he's been on the bench after being attended from the trainer, but hasn't found his way back on. So we'll see if we can get you any updates before the end of tonight's contest. 9:36 remaining here in the fourth quarter. A 7-goal lead for the home team Ontario Fury. Toth now to the far side. Adrian Perez dancing around a couple defenders there. 2 out of his 3 goals tonight, fans, have been off of his right foot. Perez, naturally gifted with the left foot, has been confusing defenders and the goalkeeper for tonight, Gamboa, with his right foot and doing it all, leading goals in MASL as well as Adrian Perez. Second year playing in the MASL, another local product out of the Inland Empire is Adrian Perez. Toth will utilize Francisco and now Reyes. CCA will find Perez with 8.5 remaining here in the fourth quarter. It was a 3-1 halftime lead, and it has ballooned to a 9-2 lead for Ontario. Chico with a pair of goals in tonight's game. First pair so far in the season. Toth collecting an assist on that Perez third goal just a few minutes ago. $7:50 remaining here in the fourth quarter. There's a turnover there. Now Charlie Gonzalez trying to capitalize. Gamboa with a quality save there. Nice crowd on hand here from Citizens Business Bank Arena. Probably a couple thousand here tonight on a Sunday night in Southern California. Shoved off the ball is Perez. Referee says play on. And they'll continue to tangle there along the far side. That is Perez and Cody Ellis. Now Toth will play the ball. Chico Francisco settling it down, and Perez will run on. Campbell to the far side. And Campbell trying to maintain possession here for Ontario. Shoved in the back, but in the end, a dangerous play as he played from the ground there. With 6:51 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Dallas just 2 goals so far. Ontario trying to pad their lead and not give up any more. And it's remaining 6.5. Hernandez off the boards, and McNeely out pressuring defensively. Now Chico Francisco and Hughes. .605 remaining here from Ontario. The goals scored have been evenly distributed between the team. Hughes getting his first goal in the season along with Walls. Francisco with a pair of goals as well. The youngster Willie Raygoza had a goal as well. Perez with a hat trick again for the Fury, and then De Abreu also finding the net as well. So a nice mixture of goals scored so far, with 9 for the Fury, just 2 for the visiting Dallas Sidekicks. 5:20 remaining here in the fourth quarter. The only other MASL game that was on tilt tonight was between Utica City FC and the Tropics. City FC victorious there. An 8-5 win earlier this afternoon, as there's a timeout called on the pitch. An 8-5 City FC victory over the Tropics. The Fury lead here with 5:05 remaining, a 9-2 score here. MASL action will continue on Thursday as the Metro Stars and Comets match up. And then Friday, you got the Tropics and the Heat, Seawolves and the Blast, Express and Barracudas on that Friday night alone. Saturday, the Sidekicks will play host to El Paso. The Comets and Milwaukee will tangle at 7:05 local time. And then the Fury and the Stars up at Showware Center in Kent, Washington. That a 7:05 local start time as well. Ontario's next home game will be Thursday the 20th. They'll play host to the San Diego Sockers. First time matching up with his former team, Chris Toth and Jeff Hughes. McNeely, coming from Tacoma from last season, will match up with his former team on Saturday. First road game for the Ontario Fury, going up to ShoWare Center. After the home game against San Diego on the 20th, Ontario will travel up to Turlock on that following Saturday and then play host to Tacoma the following Sunday. So a 9-2 lead here with 4:52 remaining in the fourth quarter. Off the near side boards, Dallas trying to generate something here with time winding down. Charlie Gonzalez defensively. Nice save from goalkeeper Chris Toth. Quality shot there, all power there off the laces. Off the near side from Dallas. 4:20 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Toth with a toe save there and then a fingertip save to follow up off the rebound. So well done from goalkeeper Chris Toth. 4:14 remaining here in the fourth quarter. 7-goal lead for Ontario. Corner kick coming for Dallas. That is Luvano who will restart. And not the shot attempt they wanted. Off the back line defensively is Ontario as well to help out Toth. And now Tornell will just clear. I believe that was Raygoza on the back line as it got past Toth and company. In the end, still only 2 goals given up from Toth. 3:45 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Kind of a defensive shell now for Ontario the last handful of minutes here. Shot from the far side is well wide. Legway defended from Cisse. And now Reyes will go in and help it out defensively. Gamboa will play to the near side to Nelson. And with 3:05 remaining, it's a comfortable 7-goal lead for Ontario. Tangled up right side of Toth, and that's broken up as Tornell trying to get it out of harm's way. 2:40 remaining here in the fourth quarter. The youngster Marcus Jordan finds the field for the first time tonight. I believe the first time this season. He was a healthy scratch in the season opener against Turlock. Jordan along the far side. Toth tangled up with Powell. He'll fake a shot and then off his back line again is Toth. And then gets the rebound there. Well done from Jordan and Toth to keep the score at 9-2. And it is Jordan, the youngster, who will get rewarded for that defensive assist. It is 10-2 Ontario with 2 minutes remaining in the fourth. So Marcus Jordan gets rewarded for his defensive help off the back line with Toth. And it is a 10-2 lead for Ontario. Comfortable to say now, at least, that they will win this game against Dallas. They will remain undefeated against Dallas all time. So 6-0 all time against Dallas. They'll prep and get ready for their game against Tacoma coming up on Saturday. Tacoma with Nick Pereira, the former Ontario Fury player, at 2-0 so far. And now to the near side is Dallas trying to work something here. Too little, too late with an 8-goal lead for Ontario. So Tacoma so far in the season, victorious against Dallas 9-6, and then also victorious against Turlock 12-2. So essentially it'll come down to goals scored between Tacoma and Ontario. And with this victory for Ontario, there'll be 21 goals scored for Ontario and 21 goals scored for Tacoma. Now the difference comes with goals given up. And Tacoma have given up 8 goals so far. Ontario just 4. So they sit in first place. Ontario sits atop the Pacific Division after a victorious Sunday night here in Southern California, a 10-2 win over the Dallas Sidekicks. 6-0 all-time against the Dallas Sidekicks. They remain as the Ontario Fury sits atop the Pacific Division. Tacoma is next as they play up in Tacoma on Saturday night. Tacoma giving up so far 8 goals on the season. Ontario just the 4. As the final score here from Ontario, California, a 10-2 win. So Ontario victorious here again. Back-to-back games here from Citizens Business Bank Arena for the Ontario Fury. They're victorious again. Only giving up 4 goals in 2 games is Ontario. And they sit atop the Pacific Division. Tacoma now with 2 wins as well, but giving up 8 goals in those 2 games. Ontario just the 4 so far in the first 2 games here from Citizens Business Bank Arena. Tallying up 21 goals in just 2 games, fans. The Ontario Fury playing comfortable with a great mixture of veteran leadership and the young talented core. Head coach Jimmy Nordberg, team president Bernie Lilavois, and assistant coach Kevin Curtis are doing something special here with this group and talented pool of Ontario Fury roster. Look for the Ontario Fury to continue some momentum in Tacoma on Saturday as the final score here from Citizens Business Bank Arena on a Sunday night. A 10-2 win for the Ontario Fury. They sit in first place in the Pacific Division as the Dallas Sidekicks yet to be victorious against the Ontario Fury. 0-6 are the Dallas Sidekicks all-time against Ontario. Let's see if that trend continues throughout this season. Ontario will battle Tacoma as they head up there on Saturday night to take on the Tacoma Stars. For everyone involved here on the broadcast here at Citizens Business Bank Arena and right here live on MASL.TV, my name is Brian Tabajay. Final score from Ontario, 10-2, the Fury victorious. We'll see you next time on MASL.TV.